Hey girls, Rachel's back for banknotes and we're going to talk about it. This is just a reminder that this channel is not about dogpiling. I'm just discussing people on the internet. So Rachel starts her video looking smug as ever.
Hello, welcome back.
Now, I want to be clear about something before we get into this. Amber broke TOS. Had time to delete her old videos and didn't. She was mass reported and YouTube has denied her appeal. She deserved to lose her channel. This video is not about defending Amber. This video is about Rachel.
Goodness me, here we are. Amberlynn Reid has been demonetized. Her entire channel has been fully demonetized, at least that's how it seems. She has removed or privated, I think, every single one of her videos. So that was upwards of like 3,000 or something videos, which are all now completely privated. Amber's last live stream is so interesting. I know I say everything's interesting. It's like, take a shot when Rachel says something is interesting.
You know what I find is interesting? The fact that this is the first clue in this video that Rachel's been, paying attention to what's being said about her. She's going to do a couple of things in this video that point towards her being aware of, the part of the community that is talking about her and doesn't like her. And she should be aware of us because her subscriber count is significantly dropping. And there are more and more people who are wanting to hear the opinions of people that see Rachel for who she is. And I also just need to comment that I don't want to repeat myself over and over again about how smug Rachel is, but the amount of times she pulls the smuggest Amber faces in this video, just pay attention. Now that I've mentioned it, you'll spot it. She and Amber, man, they could be twins.
It is my understanding that what Amber should have done was removed all of that content and then appealed. But what it looks like she did was remove basically not very many videos and then appealed straight away.
Rachel then explains the terms of service that have changed and why the content that Amber had previously had up was taken down. I figured you didn't need to hear it all over again from Rachel.
She had made lots of content and commentary in the past about herself suffering with various things that related to eating food. So I think if you're eating on camera and in doing so, displaying yourself and monetizing yourself, making money off your illness, then I don't think that's a good thing to do and it shouldn't be on YouTube. And undoubtedly that is what Amber was doing in all of this previous content. So I was thinking this whole situation through. My kind of knee-jerk response when I watched her live stream was people get fired all the time. Getting fired is not that rare. And when Amber is speaking in this live stream about this situation that she's in, she's effectively been fired by her boss, YouTube, kind of. She is talking like she's the first person in the world that this has ever happened to. Watch her say, oh, this is so sad and this is so awful for me. It's all about me. I'm really depressed. My job is gone. There is a part of the audience, I think, that would hear that and say, oh, that's really sad. I feel really bad for you. But then you remember, this is Amberlynn Reid. She has done so many terrible things during her time on YouTube. She's lucky she made it this far. She should have been deplatformed absolutely ages ago. This is an incredibly privileged, lucky individual who just so happens to have lost her unbelievably cushy job. Amberlynn Reid has shown herself over and over again to ignore her audience and have contempt for people who literally put this roof over her head. There are parts of this video where she's straight up begging for money. If you go to the donation section of this video, she's got her Cash App and her Venmo in there.
Whenever Rachel brings up money, just remember that she talked about wiping her tears with banknotes.
This is interesting to me because it shows that she has absolutely zero emergency fund. She's got no money for, a rainy day. I truly believe it's because she thought that there was never going to be a rainy day and everything was going to always come up Amberlynn. But she's trying to say here that this is the end and she's going to do no more internet content, and I do not believe it. I think she is going to be back within the month, possibly or most likely on a new YouTube channel.
I'm sure plenty of people have already told Rachel, but it's not like that. You can't just make a new channel and get monetized. YouTube's not going to let you do that.
I think leaving YouTube is the dumbest option available to her. I'm talking about what I think would be expedient for her to do for herself, acting in her own interest. She's got a big community of people on the internet who want to consume her content, regardless of what the reason is for that. I think she's stupid to walk away from it. Part of the reason I'm sure that this is all just a kind of content move to an extent anyway is because she is using it and leaning into it so much.
But down below you can see my Cameo link.
I don't want to be really sanctimonious about it and be like, oh, she should have done X, Y, Z.
And yet here you are. This really is the video where you come across the most smug, Rachel. The most pleased with yourself. And I can't wait to dive into the comments.
Oh, you can see my Cameo link.
I don't want to be really sanctimonious about it and be like, oh, she should have done X, Y, Z and, get on my high horse, because it's not for me to say, right? But I just don't understand how it can be this many days, like 2 or 3 days after being demonetized, and she's acting like all of a sudden she's completely destitute. It's like a line out of a Jane Austen novel, like, oh God, woe is me, what am I going to do? I've got no money, I'm being thrown out. And I feel like as I'm watching her live stream, I'm almost falling for this bullshit, and I'm...
Don't lie. Don't lie. You were not falling for anything. You are just as manipulative as Amberlynn is. Stop it. Stop it.
Like, oh no, what's she gonna do? I'm so worried about her. And then I remember, no, this is normal. This happens to people all the time, and she is lucky. She's in a far more privileged position than some people are. All of this from Amber, somebody who has said over and over again she would never take money off her audience. She would never ask for money. She's completely fine on her own. She's got amazing savings, etc., etc. All of a sudden now, here she is asking us to give her money. Her, the YouTuber who's made thousands and thousands of dollars on this platform. When that gravy train ends, you can't then turn around to your audience who you lied to and took for granted and then beg them to pay your fucking rent.
Don't act as if your audience is not just pay pigs to you, the way that Amber's audience was in her eyes. Come on now. You said yourself you wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for the money. Amber wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for the money. Y'all are twins.
Thing about this whole situation is that Amber being fired or demonetized or losing her YouTube income is actually not that big of a deal, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
This feels like such a privileged statement to say, well, yeah, it sucks to lose your job, but it's not a big deal. Like, okay, I don't, Amber's a bad person, but it's so dismissive to say things like that. Oh, it's not really a big deal. Everybody gets fired. No. When it happens, it is devastating. Are Amber's circumstances different? Yes, but I just feel like Rachel comes across as so smug and privileged saying these things. Yes, Amber should have had a safety net. Amber is not smart. We know this. Just the way that she talks is so infuriating to me.
For most people, being fired makes you feel shitty. It's awful, particularly if you've done something for that long. She's done it for 13 years. But the reason that it's so much more of a problem for Amber, in my opinion, is because Amber can't do much else. She can't just go and get a job in McDonald's or wherever, flip burgers or just do whatever she needs to do to pay the bills. She physically can't. She's basically almost immobile. The job which she has been fired from, YouTube, allowed her to set up a lifestyle where she basically didn't need to move, and she made significant amounts of money which she could then use to spend on food, which was brought to her that she hardly had to move to get. She then ate the food, became fatter, and has now got to a point where she can no longer do a normal job. So while, yeah, I can see that it's a little bit harder for Amber, I would argue that it's her own fault that it's harder for her because of her choices.
She is so frickin' smug about this.
People get fired in situations that are way worse than her. People get fired when the job that they got fired from paid them not very much money. Amber has been fired, kind of, after 13 years of extremely high earnings, hundreds of thousands, and she's bought no property. As far as we know, she's made no investments. She doesn't own a vehicle. She's got no savings, and she admits that herself, which is crazy because there's another clip where she says she's got an amazing savings, but those amazing savings that she claims to have she admits in this new live, aren't savings, but are in fact her tax bill. And I think that is one of the craziest things for people who are watching this situation, because you think to yourself, okay, she's lost her monetization, she's not going to make any more money on YouTube. What about all the money that she already made? And it is all gone. She has literally just spent it on, I think most of it on food, DoorDash, eating out, and buying herself Legos and random crap. Obviously she's paid her rent and bills, but you wouldn't spend anywhere near that amount of money on rent and bills.
I may not like Rachel, but she is right about this. This is clearly where Amber's money went. I hate agreeing with Rachel.
She should have a huge nest egg saved. And she kind of mentions a couple of things that she needs to pay for, one of them being Twinkie having this surgery for this lump, which I wholeheartedly, like proper hand on heart, think that Twinkie's not having surgery. I think she's lying 100%. Well, not 100%, but a very high percentage of me thinks that this isn't true. They need to remove it. But now that she needs to use something to try and convince people to give her money, all of a sudden, in classic foodie beauty style, she's using Twinkie to try and get money.
So Rachel seems very, very sure that Twinkie is not having the surgery to remove that benign lump. I'm not sure where I stand on it. I definitely think she is using Twinkie for money. However, Twinkie is an old dog, and I wouldn't be surprised if she needed some sort of surgery. It's one of those situations where I think that Amber could be telling us the truth, and it just also happens to help her get extra money. But, you know, Amber's a terrible pet parent, so who knows?
So mentions during this live stream that her mum and her grandma have already agreed to pay for Twinkie's surgery. So it's very odd to me that she's even bringing this up, because that bill is covered. So when it suits her, she wants to use her pets and our care for her pets to help her get money. But when she was making YouTube content and people in her comments and in her live streams would ask about her pets and ask to see them, she would be really cagey and wouldn't want to give any updates. I don't believe for a second that Twinkie has actually had surgery. I don't believe for a second that she's been trying to find out what's wrong with Twinkie. It wasn't that long ago that she brushed this lump off as just a fatty tumour that had been checked. She is a famously awful pet parent, and the fact that she would use Twinkie like this as a last-ditch attempt to get those final few dollars out of her audience is really fucking scummy. And she really is begging for money. And there's this whole bit where she talks about karma, and she goes, I'm a really generous person, so hopefully I've given money away, hopefully the money comes back to me. She's got a tiny apartment. It's not like it's full of stuff. So I genuinely think that she's eaten that money. And mentions reaction channels, and she sort of says, like, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy kind of thing. But her saying this, I think, comes across really fake. She's trying to make herself seem like the bigger person. She's trying to say, well, you know, this happened to me and it's really awful, but I wouldn't want it to happen to you. And she advises us to, like, hide videos about her or remove videos so that we don't have the same problem that she's had. But that just reads as crazy fake to me, because in this live, she blames reaction channels for this happening to her. She says that we have fostered up all of the hate and pushed people effectively to dislike her and therefore report her videos, which got her demonetized. And one of the biggest themes throughout this entire live stream is that she will not admit her own fault at all.
Who does that remind you of?
Like, literally. And she even says, this is stuff I made years ago. But then if you look at her shorts, like I think I've already mentioned, all of her shorts that she had up, as you can see here, are just her eating. So it's not like the content was ages ago. She was still actively making it. She wasn't talking about those kinds of struggles, the ones that relate to food, but she was still engaging in that behaviour. And there's this whole bit where she makes this analogy about driving on a road and then the speed limit of the road being changed. And I can kind of see what Amber is trying to say with this car analogy, as cringe as it is. She's trying to say that YouTube have moved the goalposts and then are retrospectively applying these rules to her past content. I can see how she thinks that makes sense. The difference is that the content is still up on the channel, right? The content is still, was still public. So even though you posted the video years ago, the video was still up on your channel. But the main thing that's crazy about the driving analogy is that it shows, and it helps her show, that she will not admit any fault in this situation. So she'll admit, I was controlling with Beck's time, but Beck did XYZ to me. And she does this here. She never says, I made this content and I shouldn't have, and I should have removed it and I didn't. She doesn't do that. She does not admit any fault whatsoever. Nothing is ever her fault.
Sort of reminds me of somebody being nasty in a Discord group. Does that ring a bell? They didn't apologize, put out a really snotty video, lost thousands of subscribers. Is this ringing a bell for anybody?
To have your current monetization penalised because of videos that you made in the past, I do think that's a little bit unfair. But what I think has happened, as I've said, is that she appealed before she'd made any changes. So then the appeal was denied because the content was still there. So I actually think that if she had deleted all her videos and then appealed, she would have probably been fine. I don't know though, I could be wrong. And I don't know what parts of terms of service were broken specifically, but either way, you can't appeal this kind of thing whilst leaving the content on your channel. But what really has surprised me in all of this is that I think Amber's kind of taken this lying down, to be honest, because if I was her, I wouldn't have done what she did. I would have removed every single video, appealed the monetization. If the decision comes back that the monetization is not approved and she's still demonetized and can't make money on this very channel, that's okay. It's not great, it's bloody shit, but make a new channel. It's really not that complicated. Just make a new channel.
I'm not going to harp on it, but I do find it really funny that Rachel, who acts as if she's the smartest person in the room at all times, does not understand that you cannot do this on YouTube. It's just funny.
Granted, you won't have all your subscribers, but people will generally resubscribe to a new channel, and after a month or so, nobody's going to care. Your views will drop, but you're better off having some views than no views.
You'd know all about that, wouldn't you?
The fact that she has effectively thrown in the towel and given up, I kind of don't buy it, to be honest. I don't think that she would go this quietly. I suspect she's got another plan. I don't know what it is, but I would be really surprised if this live stream is her last live stream. So I think her reaction to this has been kind of strange, and I think it could be that secretly she's been wanting to get off YouTube for a long time, so she's kind of using this as an excuse, and she's like, well, you know, the universe decided for me, and this is what has happened, and I accept it, and she's laid back and let it happen because she secretly wants it to happen. Or it could be that she is just that lazy. Now, another factor in all of this, which Pulpy brought up in his live, where he says that she's not allowed to use PayPal because she got reported on PayPal for the earring thing where she scammed people or something. But I know somebody who got banned on PayPal and they just made a new PayPal and it was fine. So I'm pretty sure she's not monetized on TikTok for that reason. She could just make a new PayPal, but she hasn't. And that kind of shows that she is so unbelievably fucking lazy. I guess what I'm trying to say is that with an online persona as kind of infamous as hers is, people know who she is.
Amberlynn is infamous, but now so are you.
People want to watch her, so the fact that she's just taking this lying down and she's not fighting back and making a new platform and trying to re-establish herself, it's odd. It's very odd to me. During this live stream, Amber says that she's going to gracefully accept YouTube's decision, but I wouldn't gracefully accept a decision that ends my livelihood, and it's odd to me that she's saying that, and I don't know if it's laziness or if it's that she's secretly relieved. I really don't know. A couple of other things I still want to cover. So one of those things is it good? Is this good for Amber? And I think To be honest with you, yes. The fact that Amber has been on YouTube for 13 years, in my opinion, has actively fed not only her weight problems, but also her mental health problems. And the two are, I would argue, very similar. If not one and the same, then they are very, very linked to each other. I think that the feedback and response and criticism that Amber gets on YouTube would have been very fucking hard for her to take. She's been getting it for years. And although I would argue most of it is valid criticism that she absolutely should be getting, you can't let your cat out and then lie about it. You can't lie about other people committing crimes and, you know, being essayed and all kinds of other stuff. You cannot fucking do that and monetize that content. So I think the criticism that she received was absolutely deserved. But either way, the fact that it's deserved won't make it any easier for her to receive it, I don't think anyway. I think that YouTube has actively harmed Amber's mentals because of her own behaviour, granted, but the fact that she's now effectively been handed a golden ticket to be freed from YouTube, I think it's going to be a good thing for her as an individual. Not financially, not as a content creator. She's going to have to get a normal job and be a normal person, and fuck knows how that's going to go. She's probably going to start selling leg picks, because I really can't see her not only getting a work from home job, but keeping it and actually performing, especially in this job market. I really don't think it's going to work. I reckon she'll be on feeder websites in no time.
And what feeder are you going to flirt with to get that information, Rachel? Are you still in Emily's ear? Just a question.
The only way she was ever going to stop YouTube is if she got demonetized, and she has been. Now, that kind of leads me into my other point, which is this whole bit where she says that you wouldn't work for free. So she's saying that if your boss came up to you and said, you can keep coming in, but we're not going to pay you, would you keep coming in? And of course, for many people, the answer would be no. Depends what you do. If you absolutely love your job, some people love their job so much they would do it for free. I love my job. I might do it for free. Possibly, maybe not, if I'm honest.
I'm glad you corrected yourself there. We have the screenshots, Rachel. We know you're a simp for money.
I think the point I'm trying to get to here is that Amber saying that she would make videos for free, and then the opportunity arises to make videos for free, and she suddenly says she's not going to. Granted, she says that it's because she needs to put all of her time and effort into other things, which it's very clear are applying for jobs. I think that this is not the last we're going to see of Amber on the internet at all. I think she's saying that it is because she wants to be dramatic and she wants the views and then again, why would she want the views? They're not monetized anymore, so I don't know. But I expect we will see her on the LCU, or we'll see her monetized on TikTok, or we'll see something. She's going to keep feeding Gorl World regardless, I think. Whether or not I keep covering her, I think people are going to. She'll give the people something.
You, like Amber, will follow the money. We'll see if you stick around. You're not exactly welcome. Not the way you used to be, at least. Granted, there are still plenty of people that are following Rachel and seem to really enjoy her content still. And that's valid. That's fair. Everyone's allowed to like whatever kind of content they like.
Because she's got easy money that can be made on the internet. I don't think she's going to work a 9-to-5. Amber mentions in this new live stream that she's not going to be doing Vlogmas. Now, Vlogmas is what a lot of people were kind of looking forward to in Gorl World, I would say. We were going to get Amberlynn videos. She hasn't posted a video in 4 months. I think people were looking forward to seeing her uploading again and, having something to watch. People were looking forward to Vlogmas, and now it's not happening. I don't know, man. Part of me doesn't really buy it. I have a funny feeling she's going to be back, but we'll see. But if she doesn't get remonetized, then she won't come back, and it sounds like she's not going to get remonetized. So maybe this is really it. I really don't know. So I've just popped over onto this live. It's called The End of an Era, which it kind of is. Like, a lot of people say, like, oh, it's the end of an era. If she doesn't post again and she makes no more internet content, which I don't think is actually going to happen, but if that does happen, it is the end of an era. It's the end of an era for her, for this way of making money in her adult life. it's the end of an era for Gorl World. Amber carries a significant amount of Gorl World, I would argue. And the fact that she's going to stop making content, it will be very interesting to see what happens to the rest of Gorl World. But I would say it is an era. For once, her title's actually not clickbait. Those are my thoughts. Very curious to see what you guys think in the comments. I don't delete comments, by the way. People getting very upset thinking that I was deleting their comments. I haven't. I don't. I've deleted like 7 comments the entire time I've been on YouTube. Comment what you like. I'm not deleting your comments, I promise.
I don't believe you, but okay.
And yeah, cool. We'll see what happens to Amber. I dare say she'll be back. I really think she will be. But I hope she's not, for her own good. And whether I cover her or not in the future remains to be seen.
So we're going to end it there because I didn't really think it was necessary to watch Rachel's reactions to comments under Amber's original video or get her opinions on Amber's cameos. If that's something that you really, really want to hear about, let me know in the comments and we can talk about it. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to end the reaction part of this video. So I wanted to just read some of the comments under Rachel's video because I love hearing your opinions. And yeah, so let's dig into it. And the Philosophalia returns, desperate for them banknotes. Has anyone listened to Sweet Bobby podcast? Rachel reminds me of the villain in that story in many ways. I've been reading about all the posts you've been making across different platforms under different accounts, and you're genuinely unhinged, like concerning levels. The pedestal you hold yourself on while judging Amber is a clear case of projection. Seriously, get help. In what world do you still have the nerve to think you can carry on as normal and will accept it? She doesn't care. She wants our attention, positive or negative. Unlike Amber, she's still monetized. All I want to know from you, new cow, is how you feel that Emily chose Amber over you. Piss off, you insufferable piece of shit. Rachel is going crazy making tons of sock accounts and defending herself in the comments. It's over, bitch. Get a job. Rachel, you can't sit with us. Seriously, go away, Rachel. I agree with all of these sentiments. Especially the sock accounts. The amount of sock accounts I have seen defending Rachel is kind of wild. Now, could they be whatever Rachel's version of babies are? Sure, that's possible. But it's more fun to think that they're sock accounts. I knew you couldn't resist getting a few banknotes off this ALR news. Sad. Your like to view ratio is as bad as Porky's was. How embarrassing. New cow on the block. Oh gosh, not you again. I was hoping you were gone too. Hello, welcome back. Well, she's probably crying on the inside. Down almost 15K subs. Jeez. And acting like her credibility is still intact. Every reaction channel that matters already covered this. Go away like Amber. I agree. Oh no, your cash cow's gone. How are you going to wipe your tears with banknotes now? Once again, I would like to point out the raging hypocrisy that you, Rachel, felt violated when your private messages on a public Discord server with viewers were leaked. But when someone you called a domestic violence victim sends you a video and asks you specifically, do not share this, it's fine for you to post that on a Discord for viewers to see. How can you justify or excuse that? Yeah, Rachel. That. Imagine tanking your channel by flirting and almost paying a death feeder only to have your main channel focus go away. Imagine that. She'll pivot to something else if she has to. Wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last. Quick, Rachel, you have a chance to get with Emily now. No one wants to hear your opinion. Still a creepy ass, lying ass, moral corrupt ass. Stay gone, Rachel Lynn. Or are you the new lol cow to replace Amber on YouTube? Maybe. Amberlynn Jr. clocking in for her humiliation session. You guys crack me up. You are as immoral and disgusting as Amber, so your thoughts are trite dribble. You really must think Gorl World is as stupid as you behaved. Your subscriber and view numbers will continue to fall just as you deserve. Deleting comments does not change anything. I love that comment. You are Amberlynn. Agreed. Ever since the scandal, I can't hear you lay out your thesis along with your whys without also hearing the script write-ins and lies to fit your sneaky narrative behind the scenes. And that's unfortunate. I previously liked you. This will have to be my last video of yours, though. I think quite a few people feel that way. All right, girls, I'm going to finish here for now, but this has been fun. I definitely want to do another video reading more of these comments because you guys are hilarious. Thanks for being here. If you liked this video, please like it. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. And please consider subscribing. It helps our little corner of the internet grow. Thank you again. Mwah. Bye.